Good morning, class. How are you today? I'm fine, thank you. Before we begin our class, let's pray first. Pray, begin. Finish, and now let's stand up to sing Indonesia Raya. Okay. I'm going to check your attendance. Please raise your hand and say, I'm here, okay? And while I'm checking your attendance, please prepare your things before we get started and make sure you are in a comfortable position to follow this class. Albi. Okay. Keifa. Rayindra. Oh, sorry, Ravindra. Satyo. Does anyone still remember the material we already discussed in the previous meeting? Good job, Nami. You remember it well. Okay. Today, we will go into new material. Does anyone have a store, or do your parents have a store? No? Or have you ever interested in one item that you see on a paper or an ad? Yes? What item are you interested in? Laptop? Handphone? What else? Camera? Okay. Now we will learn how to promote goods or services or activities through brochures. We will learn how brochures can attract our attention so we could buy or interested in an item you mentioned earlier. And in the end of our lesson today, you need to make your own brochure. Okay, now everyone look at the screen, please. Here are some examples of brochures. Have you ever seen a brochure before? Yes, Albi? Excellent. Where do you see the brochure? At the mall? Okay, yes, there are many people at a mall giving the brochure to buy their products, right? So there are three types of brochure as you see in this screen. One of which is like a brochure that Albi mentioned earlier. There are brochure without fold, brochure bifold, or it means two sides. Bifold means two sides. And brochure threefold, it three sides. And now look back at the screen. To be called a brochure has some characteristic. Does anyone know what that is? Okay, so there are 5 characteristics on a brochure. To be called a brochure, first, a brochure must use a headlines. And usually a brochure uses a type and font size that easily to read because since the focus of a brochure is to promote, so we need to make it short and brief to make the reader not bored with our brochure and interested with our product. And the text in a brochure also must convince the reader to do something or buy the product and explain the good side of a product. And The most important is don't forget to clearly specify the address or contact person in a brochure to let the readers know, or to let the readers contact us if they are interested for that product. Okay, now I'm going to distribute this. Okay, did everyone get the paper? Now look at the worksheet that has been distributed. I want you to work individually and identify the components of brochure in activity 1. You can start now. If anyone already has the answer, please raise your hand and say it. Okay, Keifa? Very well done. Does anyone have a different answer from Keifa? No? Does anyone have something to ask up to here? Or there's something that you still don't understand yet? Don't be shy, we all learn together here. Okay, now if you see activity 2 in your worksheet, there are 3 brochures of different types. Still working individually and start by observing the brochure and follow the instructions. Then continue with activity 3. If you see it in the worksheet, there is some missing part in the brochure. Complete it based on the instructions. I will give you 10 minutes to work on this activity. You can start now. Is everyone done? Okay, next, to have better understanding about the content of the brochure itself, I want you to do activity 4. Look at the brochure. As we learned earlier, a brochure must contain important information needed by people, right? So pay attention to the brochure and answer the questions. Did everyone finish until activity 4? Okay, now work with your chairmate to the activity 5. As you can see in this activity 5, write some recommendation from those 2 brochures. So I will give you 5 minutes to doing this activity. And don't forget to put your name and your chairmate's name beside the instruction to let me know in here. Okay, understand? And now you can start now. After working on these activities, now we will discuss the answer. I want Ravindra to explain the answer from activity 2. Since activity 1 has already been discussed earlier, right? Is there any questions up to here? Okay, now I want you to make your own brochure. I will give you around 50 minutes to start thinking and making the outline of the brochure. You can continue the text at home, but in the next meeting, I want the brochure that you made digitally can be collected on a paper. It means that you must collect it to me in the printed form. Okay? In the paper. And again, don't forget to put your name above your brochure. Do you understand? You can start now. Okay everyone, since the time is up, collect the worksheet that I give to you, please. Thank you. Thank you, Ravindra. Thank you, Sachil. You can go back to your seat. Thank you. Okay. Class, what do we learn today? Does anyone want to explain? Raise your hand, please. Thank you, Sachio, and thank you all of you. All of you have done a great job today. And don't forget the entire lesson that we learned, okay? Next meeting, we are going to learn about banner, and I'm going to collect your homework, so please prepare for the next meeting. Okay, before we end our class today, let's pray first. Pray begin. Finish. Thank you everyone. See you in the next meeting.